Welcome to another edition of Ice Cold Questions presented by Corona. Ethan Greenberg, CJ Mosley. You ready to go?
Ready to roll.
Here in the Florham Park Beach.
Yep, Florham Park Beach, nice and warm in here. Yeah.
As you can tell, we're both in hoodies, very nice.
Yeah.
All right, so you pick the first question.
All right, let's go. I'm reading it out loud.
You're reading it out loud.
Where did the bang mask idea come from? That's a great question because I saw on social media people was giving me slack, thinking I took all the credit for it. But I saw it first in Baltimore with Terrell Suggs. He came out of the tunnel. He had his entrance that he always do. So I think it was a Thursday night game maybe, but it was rocking. It was pretty cool. So coming into the Patriots game, obviously getting ready for Halloween. We're in the black uniforms, Gotham City, New York, all that good stuff. So I actually texted him the night before and told him, like, hey, I'm about to take a page out of your book just to kind of get the okay. So he was good with it. Went to Amazon, ordered it. It worked out.
This is an well. Amazon order?
Amazon order. Nice cheap mask. Don't need the real deal.
Are you a Batman fan?
I like Batman. I watched the most recent one that came out. It was pretty good too.
Yeah.
It was, and it's always funny to see the parody accounts. Like if you don't put something in the recycling or something like that, then Batman pops out and beats you up. So that's all.
So Ball So Hard University was the guy that
Ball So Hard University. Yep.
All right, here we go. This is another question. What was your first car?
My first car was a 1985 convertible Mustang. It was red, and I had it when I was around 15, so it was close to my birthday. So you turn 16, you get your permit. So that was the car I was kind of test driving around. You had to manually do the convertible. So I mean, it was a work in progress, but it was your first car, so I loved it. And one day, it wasn't in the driveway anymore. So for a while, I thought my parents was playing a joke. Like, all right, my birthday coming up, so it's about a month away. It's just gonna magically pop back up, but it never did. It was just gone.
So how long did you have the car, like, in your possession?
I guess a couple months. It wasn't long. It was a quick love story. Yeah.
So what's a car like now that maybe you don't own, or maybe you do own? It's like your favorite car, or it's a car that you think is just like awesome and you want to own it?
I would probably say the Mercedes G-Wagon. So that was I always wanted to have that car. It was just, a lovely looking car. I didn't want to get it my first year because, I felt that was a little too early to get that, but I was able to get it earlier this year. So that was probably the car that I always wanted the most.
Wow, so it's a recent purchase.
Yeah, recent purchase. So
okay.
So it took me 8 years to get it, so you don't have to go buy your favorite car as soon as you get money.
Okay. All right, next question, you got it.
Who has been the most difficult person to tackle in your football career? High school, college, NFL? Since I'm a little older now, high school's going a ways back, so it's gonna be hard to remember some of those guys' names. So I'm gonna go with college and NFL. For me, college was Marcus Lattimore at South Carolina. I first saw him at the U.S. Army All-American game. So we were actually on the same team. Then he went to South Carolina. We played against him my freshman year, and they stumped us out pretty bad out there. It was the #1 team, and him and Alshon Jeffries, they had a big game that year. So they played really well. And NFL, we're gonna go with Le'Veon Bell. Had a lot of battles with him in Baltimore. Seeing him twice a year, seeing him in the playoffs. He was a very patient runner. So I always loved going against him because he just had a different style than anybody else.
What made Lattimore so difficult to tackle?
He was just elusive. He had a lot of power, very strong lower body. When you thought you had him down with the arm tackle, he'll slip you. He was one of the few players I remember vividly that I thought I had a tackle and I had to look up and he's still running. So that hasn't happened a lot in my career.
Yeah, it's got to be a short list.
Yeah, so he was fun to watch, man. So it was tough to see his injuries because I respected him a lot and he's a good person. And I still follow him on Twitter, so I still see he's doing, still doing good things. So man, so shout out to you, Marcus.
Okay, all right, that was a good one. All right, here we go. What was the first jersey you ever owned? Any sport?
Ooh, first jersey. I'm not sure. I just know I had a bunch of jerseys, whether from basketball or football.
You were like a big jersey guy growing up?
Yeah, jersey was a thing back then. You first it was just a big jersey. And then there was a time, you flipped it around so you had the last name on the front. So I definitely went through all those phases of the big jersey with the big pants and all that. But you know, my dad kept a good collection of like throwback jerseys, throwback football jerseys. So you know, we always used to rock a throwback.
Do you remember a specific jersey that was your favorite?
So my dad and you know, pretty much most of my fam are Bears fans. So I remember, I believe it was a Walter Payton throwback. So I remember I used to wear that one a lot because, you know, back then, you know, the Bears were good. You always can cheer for the Bulls. You know, the Blackhawks were winning. So it was good. You got Cubs, White Sox. So everybody was doing good. So it was good to be
a lot of Chicago
fan back, you know, back in the day. So yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I could see you in a black pinstripe Dennis Rodman jersey.
You know what? I think I did have one.
Really?
Just trying to think about it.
I didn't want to say MJ because I
don't
thought that was
know
like
if it was pinstripe. I think it was the black one. Yeah, just the black alternate jersey.
Wow. Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
We didn't even talk about that. Yep. That's incredible. All right, then we got two more.
Two more. If you can go to dinner with anyone, dead or alive, and not related to football, who would you go with? I think, well, I know because I've had this question before. It would probably be my great grandparents.
Okay.
Just to have a conversation with them. You know, that's just people that kind of started the family.
Yeah.
And now, you know, we got two generations now. So it'd just be cool to listen to their story. You know, listen to you know how everything developed and came through. And obviously let them see, you know, where their bloodline has gotten them.
Yeah, it's gotten them pretty far.
Yeah, pretty far. We're doing pretty good in the Mosley name. So that'll probably be, you know, who I want.
What do you know about your great-grandparents?
I just know they were I was alive for my great grandmother and great grandfather on my mother's side, and I didn't get to see my great grandparents on my father's side. So. The little bit I know about them on my father's side is that they were slaves and they got their own land. Same with my great grandparents on my mother's side. So the house where my parents live at now, right in front of that is where where their house was. So like it's that same little house is still there. So growing up, I remember we had our little farm. So we had the goats, had the chickens, had the clothesline, had all the old school setting and everything. So I just know for sure just the discipline that my parents have, the work ethic, the motivation, all those intangible things. I know that was instilled in them, through their parents and before that when they was younger. So I just think my parents and everybody else did a really good job of just keeping us in that family tradition, is keeping us real close, real tight knit as far as just being together for each other.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Goats and chickens growing up too.
Yeah.
I love that.
I ain't messing with none of that, but it was around though.
Okay. All right. Which actor or comedian makes you laugh the most?
Ooh.
Because I feel like you're a very stoic guy.
Yeah. I think it's an easy one. I'll probably go with Martin Lawrence. I can throw on Martin any day of the week and it'll be funny. It could be the
stand up or a movie?
Both. Stand up, movie, the TV show. So I think that would probably be my go-to comedian to watch.
So I assume you're a big Bad Boys fan?
Yeah, big Bad Boys fan. I like the third one. The third one was good.
Yeah.
So I mean,
the third one I feel like is just if you like the first and the second one, it's just nice to see.
You just gotta appreciate it.
Yeah.
It's just like the last Jurassic Park. It might not have been the best one, but you appreciate all the series, so you're gonna watch and enjoy the last hoorah of the movies.
Yeah. All right. There you have it. Ice Cold Questions presented by Corona with CJ Mosley. CJ, appreciate it. Thank you.
Appreciate you on this warm day.